All right, you guys, welcome to Boss Bitch Radio. Today, we are here to discuss full body weight training. Is it your fitness holy grail? We're going to also go over the pros, the cons, how and when you should use them. And I want you to stay tuned because we're going to actually give you a freebie PDF download for your very own full body workout. And by we, I should probably introduce you to my special guest today, who is Miss Alysha Alcantar, Ish the Beast over on Instagram. Say hi to all of our Boss Bitch friends and fans.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, maybe.
Yes. Yes. And we are going to dive in today. Alysha, give us a little bit about, I know some people may be new to the podcast today. So just give them a little 2-second intro about, probably longer than 2 seconds, intro about who you are, what you do, where are you in the universe of Boss Bitch Radio?
Who am I in this universe? So I'm Alysha, Ish the Beast, kind of everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. And I am a full-time personal trainer, nutrition coach, working in the Venus Fitness Studio realm. Okay, online, in person, all the things. And yeah, I love everything weight training. I've been weight training for over 10 years. And Diane is my mom. So that's how I know her. And she, creates little mini-me's. So here I am.
Here you are. And you're also a competitor yourself. So let's not forget that. You want to share your experience with competing. Give us your elevator speech.
I'm pretty much a full-time bodybuilder. I've been bodybuilding since 2019 and have competed in 4 shows, mainly in the figure category, most recently switching over to the wellness category. So I've taken 2 years of improvement season to really grow some lower body muscle. And next year I will be hitting that stage and I'm so excited for it.
Do we have a date yet?
No, I'm assuming fall because, I'm trying to just push it out. 2024, but we're pushing it out.
Yes. How many years of improvement season will this be? 3?
I'm 2 years in right now.
Yeah.
Like so, this month.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know a thing or 100 about weight training by this point in your bodybuilding career. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. Now, the reason we wanted to share some insights on full body workouts and training in general is because these are still questions that we hear often, right? I know you do in the studio with training clients. We actually utilize full body training and workouts at Venus as well. And there used to be some, people would throw some shade at full body workouts. So we're going to talk about the pros. Let's go ahead and start there. So one of the biggest pros, and I think a reason why a lot of people like full body workouts is because of the efficiency, right? You can hit multiple body parts in one workout.
Definitely makes it a time saver.
Yes. So we can do, you can hit legs, you can hit back, shoulders, whatever, and kind of customize it so it makes sense and that you are training the body parts in the appropriate sort of sequence, right? So that way you are not skipping the hard parts first, but also utilizing the bigger muscle groups earlier on in the workout when your body's more fresh and you're not likely to, kind of run out of energy source. So efficiency would be the first pro. The second pro would be targeting multiple muscle groups, which we talked about a little bit. So one thing that I love personally about full body workouts is that it feels easier for me to go into the gym and not feel so overwhelmed that like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like a full leg day or a full glute day or whatever.
You're not, right? You don't have anxiety over 2 hours of legs.
Yes. It's like, it feels almost like it's more attainable for somebody who has some resistance to just getting into the gym and just going like, oh, it's a leg day. And you can think of like 100 excuses not to go.
Absolutely. And I think you can be super efficient in the ways like you can train bigger muscle groups, like doing a barbell squat. You're not just hitting quads. You can do bigger movements and target the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. So that is a second reason why it is a pro in terms of utilizing full body workouts. I would say a third one is going to be you get more bang for your calorie buck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're using multiple, you're using the anterior and the posterior chain of your body, so the front and the back muscles, and essentially you're utilizing a lot more and expending more energy to train multiple body parts all at once. So there is that pro to it. I just don't want people to get too hung up on that. Like, oh, let me just do full body workouts every day because it burns more calories. I don't want you to do that, because we are going to talk about some of those cons here in just a second. But overall, you are going to generally increase your calorie burn at rest, because you are hitting multiple muscle groups.
Yeah.
Again, it's a double-edged sword, because it can be super tempting to just want to always do full body workouts. And I tell people, don't get glamorized by that. When it comes to weight training, body weighted stuff and things like that, you're going to be able to recover from more quickly. But when you've got some heavy resistance, you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. They say a lot of times, like a lot of beginners should start with full body workouts. But it can be used for both types of the lifter. I know for myself, I have a gal who does full body because her school schedule is so everywhere. She's everywhere at once, and she can only make it in the gym a few days a week. Okay, let's do some full body and get as efficient of a workout as you can. So it really just depends on kind of what you can do and who you are.
Yeah, definitely. Do you notice, like, clients in the studio, our personal training clients, like, what do they usually say they like best about the full bodies? Because I know our full body schedule is usually pretty full when it comes to the studio. People are really wanting to book the full body sessions.
Yeah.
And glutes, because that tends to be our specialty in town. But what are you finding with clients with full body? Like, what is the feedback that you hear?
You know what? A lot of times they're intimidated to do a full leg day or a glute day. Our Venus workouts are pretty intense, especially for newbies. So I always tell people to gravitate toward that full body when they first start working out. That way they can train everything. You get that intense, oh shit, we're hitting legs, but then you forget about it when we go do overhead presses or we're doing some upper body movements. So it's a good way to keep them engaged and changing up different things and not getting too fatigued on one body part.
Yes, exactly. I feel like it allows them, at least I think for people who are more beginner, again, it allows them like that break that they're going to need and in the training session. So that way they don't feel like I couldn't finish this leg day. It was too much. Or I couldn't finish this glute day. It was too much. It's like just enough legs or glutes to just knock the wind out of your sails.
Get
the job done. And then you're like, oh, okay, thank God it's shoulders now or back, right?
Yeah, it's so less overwhelming when it's a full body.
Yeah, most definitely. The other reason is, in which we've touched on this a little bit already, is it's suitable for busy schedules, right? If you have a very hectic or unpredictable schedule, work week, kids, and things like that, and you can only get in once a week, twice a week, something like that, I find it's better to gravitate towards a full body workout if this tends to be you, versus like, oh, I'm just going to hit upper body today, and then later in the week, I'll try to squeeze in legs somewhere, right? It's like, just do full body, get some legs in. And then if you can get another one in and you're recovered enough, then you can hit another full body. Or maybe if you have more time, then you can do just like a straight leg workout.
A+, that's great.
Right. I'd say the next one is it's a great way to maintain an already balanced physique. And we were talking about this before we started recording, in that I think this is also a good place to implement full body training when you're somebody who isn't really trying to put on a ton of muscle mass, somebody who maybe is already developed enough for a specific division, and you're just kind of trying to keep things fresh and you're not trying to get too crazy with growing. I think that's also a great spot for including some full body training.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do use this for a few of my clients who are in this position. I do it for myself. I did it today. I've been kind of sprinkling that back in because I'm not competing anymore. I'm not trying to get, massive and huge and do all these things with bodybuilding anymore. So for me, I really like my aesthetic. And so it's really just a matter of maintaining.
Yeah. And honestly, like for you, for example, for someone who's not competing, you might like to hit some back exercises, but you don't want to do a full 1 hour back day, You can just kind of
Yes.
split it up, get your legs in, because we always want to hit legs,
Mhm.
and hit what you want to hit. Have a good variety.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something that I'm actually doing right now too. It's like I'm not trying to grow my back any. I'm having fun with playing with like pull-ups and assisted pull-ups and things like that. I just feel like, I don't know. What's funny? Have I ever told you almost every physique assessment I do that so if you submit a physique assessment, I ask you like the two goals, your two main goals.
Uh,
Almost every single one the women are wanting to learn how to do pull-ups. I want to
Absolutely.
just do at least one pull-up.
Like, what are we training for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is that something you've ever wanted to do?
You know what? The day I discovered I could do a pull-up, I couldn't stop doing them. Like I just would
Really?
get on the pull-up bar and I'm like, oh my God, look at me. I'm doing a pull-up. Like I never
Yeah,
thought it would be me.
yeah,
So, but it's not something I ever strived for.
right, right.
But
Like you set massive goals. Do you use them anymore?
no. Oh
Yeah.
no. No back
Yeah, you're
training
not
for
trying to
me.
grow your back. Yeah. You have a different set of rules that you have to abide by for your physique. So yeah,
Definitely.
but super fun because you can play around with some different stuff that you typically don't. I like to throw that in my full body training. Okay, so I think we went over a lot of the pros for full body training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
we ready to dive into the cons?
The cons. Let's do it.
All right. So, some of the cons of full body workouts. Now, this is something that we see with newer, I would say, clients who are, I hate to use the word deconditioned, but just not used to weight training. They're not used to um, our style of training,
Yeah.
which is hypertrophy, weight training, resistance training, right? We'll just lump that all into one. It is very physically demanding. You're using multiple muscle groups, large muscle groups, right? Legs, glutes, back.
Yeah.
If you're a male, a lot of times some men will throw in some chest stuff too, right? Because men can do this as well. So there are some possibilities for being really sore and then just struggling with trying to get in another workout in the week. And I feel like that subsides, but it can last you for some time.
Yeah. Especially if you're new and you're doing full body training, the fatigue is gonna work up for sure. And you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
have to do more legs again the next day and the next day. It definitely subsides, but in the beginning it's there for sure.
it's there. Right. And I do recall when I was training clients in the studio, when we would have new clients come in and they're like, I did a full body and I could not walk for 3 days.
Yes.
I mean, that's being exaggerative, but I couldn't walk. I was very sore. I can't even imagine trying to do a full leg day. I have heard that multiple times.
All the time.
But you have to also know that it's probably best that you start with a full body workout
Mhm.
because because then you can kind of like mentally prepare yourself for what's to come as
Yeah,
long as you keep going.
absolutely. And it's less overwhelming that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing 6 legs exercises or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like 3, sometimes 4,
Mhm.
and then you're on to the next body part.
Yeah. So for beginners, like physically, definitely very challenging. Full body. I mean, anything in the beginning is challenging, right? You
Right.
just kind of have to pick your heart and get used to it.
Pick your hard. That's
Yeah.
such a good quote for sure.
Hmm.
Pick your hard. Full body, start there. It's going to suck for a minute, but once you get the soreness to subside, you get right back at it and your body will acclimate, but it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you want. You want to adapt to that stimulus and get better at it and learn all the movements and all that. But then eventually it gets hard again. Right. And this is just the joy of weightlifting.
Yes, it's the joy of being in the gym.
Such a joy.
We're trying to make it harder than last time.
Harder. Yes. That is a Greg Doucette.
Shout out to Coach Greg.
Coach Greg. Okay. So then nextly, another con is going to be risk of overtraining, which I know we did talk about too. I would say that this is more prevalent in someone who's going to try to do full body every day.
Definitely.
Right. Like if you're doing full body twice a week and you have a couple days in between, probably not going to be overtraining unless on those other days you're also like slamming your body with more of the same things you're already doing.
Definitely.
Right. I think we do have some clients in the studio that tend to have eyes bigger than their stomach and they want to do all the things. And we often have to pet them in the head and say, that's cute, but don't, because then you're going to just burn out and your body's going to scream at you.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is that possibility for overtraining. I think a good pulse of full body workouts is one that is very person specific. It's like, how quickly can you recover from that? And that's going to be several things included into that with recovery. Like how good is your sleep? Are you, how stressed out are you? And how is your supplementation and how is your nutrition? That is not in the most important order, by the way. How would you prioritize that? Most important order is going to be, I think, nutrition.
100%.
Sleep.
Then maybe.
Or the other choice said. Stress.
Oh, yeah. Stress. Did you drink water?
Sleep. Supplementation.
Yeah.
Supplementation will probably be last, right? Like if you're getting enough protein, you're fueling your training with your carbs and things like that. And then sleeping, you're doing the mostest properly right there. But be careful with full body training and don't get sucked into trying to do that every single day.
Every day of the week.
Because you will burn out and overtrain. And honestly, you'll probably be doing more harm than good in terms of the benefits that you're trying to achieve for body change.
Right.
Okay. So with full body training, another con is that you have more flexibility in the way that like you can play with a plethora of exercises, but this also kind of goes hand in hand with throwing everything but the kitchen sink. That's such like an old people saying, but like throw everything but the kitchen sink at your full body training program and trying to do all the things all week. Right. Yeah. It's going to cause issues with overtraining and also possibly some injuries. And that's something that you want to make sure that you are not overusing and overdoing with full body workouts.
Yeah. So you have to pick those exercises carefully.
Most definitely.
And make sure you can do them properly with good form and everything. Right.
And then kind of to tie in to some of the things that we were talking about earlier in terms of recovery is that has to be prioritized, especially if you're overdoing it, right? You have to make sure that you are recovering, you're getting enough sleep, you're making sure that your nutrition is on point with protein. And if you're wanting to supplement with something for soreness, so you can indeed recover and get back in the gym, something like L-glutamine is super helpful. But you have to make sure that there is enough rest and recovery in between your training sessions, but also your full body sessions. So that way you are not overtraining and kind of causing any little overuse injuries, nagging aches and pains.
Most definitely. Taking those extra measures, even like foam rolling after or before workouts, stretching after workouts, especially if you're doing full body workouts, you're going to be using those same muscles again. You want to take care of your body.
Yes, I think that's actually a really great point with recovery. The recovery tools like that, even sitting in like a dry sauna, just an Epsom salt bath, things like that for recovery, just to help, increase repair recovery so you can get back in the gym and not feel like you're constantly beating yourself down.
Terribly. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about how and when you can use full body workouts in your current routine. Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I believe that full body workouts are great for essentially more like two demographics. And this isn't to say that somebody else outside of these demographics can't use full body workouts, because I know I do have some unique cases with specific clients that utilize them. However, I personally feel like full body workouts are great for people who are newer to weight training. Again, to what Alysha had said earlier, it's less overwhelming. Right?
Yes.
Like a lot of our newbie clients start with full body at the studio.
Yeah. And I often push them to do that. Way less overwhelming.
Right. So that kind of talks about like the levels, right? So we have our beginners, and then like we were mentioning earlier, people who are maybe just trying to maintain, just want to still get in the gym, move their body around, stuff like that. They're not trying to put on a lot of like muscle size or develop muscle and things like that. They can craft a full body workout that essentially just maintains what they already have, which is me, right? That's basically what I'm doing. Not trying to do anything crazy, just trying to like feel good in my body and keep my shape and all that. So full body feels really great for me. I'm trying to hit full body like twice a week. And then maybe one really solid lower body day, just because that fuels my soul, right? I just like to be in there and grinding it out. So I think that's important. Now, when it comes to goals, that sort of goes hand in hand. I think full body is a great place for beginners to start if they are trying to build muscle, burn fat, change the shape of their body, any of those things. They're going to reap massive benefits from full body for sure. Again, being able to hit all those muscle groups. And also, going back to what we said earlier, it's more bang for your calorie buck, but also you're tapping into utilizing and increasing your natural levels of testosterone, females and males. I know some women freak out about that because they're like, I don't want to increase my testosterone. And I'm like, listen, just by weight training, just by weight training, that is not going to like bump up your testosterone levels to some like ridiculously like obscene male level. It's your natural level. So it's going to help boost that. And when you can pull from many different muscle groups for your training, this also helps with that. Now, kind of what I was saying earlier too, it also is nice to have a little bit of variety. So maybe throwing in a full body day with a regular split routine. So if you're somebody who really likes to go in and just do legs and just do back and just do arms, just do shoulders, right? Sometimes it's nice to shake up your routine and help you balance things out by throwing in a full body day and just playing around with the rest of your splits. So that way you're not overlapping and overtraining and then just spinning your wheels going nowhere. But it does depend obviously on your goals.
Yeah, especially for those that want to shake up their training a little bit, that are kind of getting bored with the like traditional split routine. This might be something good to add in, and just even one day, try it out. You might really like it.
Yeah. And I think it's, again, I think because I love the bodybuilding community, but sometimes there are dogmas associated with like, this is the only way you do things, right? Yes. And I think that is kind of like an old school way of thinking. I know that how many athletes have we had come through Venus who were not athletes to begin with, right? They were just like Mrs. Jones, soccer mom, working out. My friend came and I want to try it out. And then they became a competitor, right?
Yeah.
But they too also started with full body workouts, right? Like I can think of several, like Erica Wyrick, who's now a personal trainer on our team, Stephanie Hayes, who's a bikini athlete as well. Like they came in and that's where they started, and they still train and do full body as well, because it's adaptable to their goals. So I think that's also something you have to be aware of. Anything else you want to add on full body? I really love making full body workouts. I think they're fun, especially because I'm doing them a lot more now. And I don't feel so much pressure to have these like hard and heavy compound days that have to be like spread across the 6 days of a training program.
Yeah. I honestly, that's it. If my goals were a little bit different, full body training would absolutely be something I would be leaning more toward. It almost would feel very athletic. I come from a very athletic background, and, I could hit some squats, then go do some overhead press and not be so in my routine of like, okay, we're hitting legs for 2 hours, or this is the hour upper body workout. It seems like a good time in the gym, quite honestly.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. And especially too, like, I know for me personally, not always, but I would be like, okay, like maybe earlier this year. Okay, so Tuesday's going to be just like an abs and cardio day, or a shoulders and abs day, or something like that, which is totally fine. But what would happen is I would go in and I would start doing shoulders, and then I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do abs. And I would leave it out because I would start getting into my shoulder workout, and then it would just take me longer than I thought it was going to. And then I'm like, I'm not going to do abs. And then abs would just continually be pushed to the wayside. But what I'm finding now is when I program my full body workouts, if I program abs in there, it's almost like I'm not adding extra stuff. I'm sticking to the plan.
Right.
So the abs are going to get the focus and the attention they need, even if it's just one exercise. So that's one of the pros that I find with the full body training programs.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I think we covered most of the full body workout debate, the pros, the cons, who it's good for. We have created a beautiful PDF full body workout for you to try for yourself. We would love some feedback. So give it a try. Tag us on Instagram, # full body debate.
Full body
let
debate.
Us know your thoughts. Yeah. Full body debate. And the link will be in the show notes, as well as in the description if you're watching this over on the YouTubes. But download that, check it out. It'll also put you on our email newsletter list because, drum roll please, we are going to be opening up spots for the Goddess Body Project very, very soon in November. And it will only go out to the wait list, which is via email, in November. And Alysha and I are going to be heading up a very fun project. So it is going to be an online version in a group coaching format that's budget friendly and affordable, and is going to have all the amazing resources that we give to our clients in person, with weekly coaching calls and a portal with all of your PDFs and videos all at your fingertips. And you can follow along and do this with other people in the Goddess Body Project community. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, we're so excited to be able to like hand deliver this, and we're putting so much effort and just information and things into this. So we're super jazzed, and I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And it starts January 15th of 2024, but we're getting ahead of the game, y'all, because that's going to be here before we know it. So keep your eyes peeled to your inbox. Make sure you get that PDF download. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Share. Your friends need the full body workouts too, right?
Yeah. Send them the full body workout link and do it together.
Yeah, exactly. It's always better with a friend. So we will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for hanging out with us on Boss Bitch Radio, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.